Welcome back to Let's Play Disco Elysium. Last episode, we crossed the canal and we explored the shoreline. Who are these guys? Oh, did they clear it? Okay. You grab the handle and pull the lever up. As soon as the metal connects against the contact pins, you hear a loud clunk. Then,
the water lock starts moving.
oh, lovely. This is nice. Is everything alright? Why don't you want to talk to me?
I don't know. I mean, why would I want to talk to you?
Horse-faced woman. Have I wronged you? I've done that to a lot of people.
No, you haven't wronged me. It's okay.
RCM badge. RCM commander's jacket? Esprit de Corps visual calculus? Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, we look sick. We look absolutely sick. Wow. I'll put these on too. And this one. Oh my god, we look amazing.
Sometimes I also walk to the beach to see what the sea has given up. The sea is full of surprises.
Oh yes it is.
Keep it professional, man. Don't make it sound like you're hitting on her.
Interesting. What have you found? Something interesting.
Great news. The boat is big enough for a grown man like you to fit underneath it in a supine position.
Great news. I found somewhere new to sleep.
Huh?
I said, great news. I found somewhere to sleep. Under this boat here. It'll be free.
Sarcastic self-pity is not what we need at this moment, officer.
This wintry shoreline. And now we're in this fishing village. And, yeah, let's just keep exploring. The street sign is illegible below the graffito. Now, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, Lillian called this fishing village Elysium due to the sign that is outside the village that is either illegible or written in a way that it looks like Elysium. Hard to see the details, the colors all warm and welcoming, are cozy though. Now we spoke to this grandma over here, a flower trough where nothing really grows, maybe in spring. I forgot, she has a name. What's her name? Inside you hear the cozy sound of some kind of heater sputtering.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night.
Right, well, I don't know if she has a name. I'm pretty sure she does, but she has kindly offered us, for free of charge, this side shack. So we'll go inside for our lodgings. Honestly, it should be better than the Whirling in Rags, because the Whirling in Rags has a big, wide open window that we made a hole in to the side of. And, it's cold at night, but even though the outside of the village is cold, according to her, the side shack is nice and warm. Industrial coal pellets burn with an orange glow. Roughed up goose taxidermy? Should we take it? Oh, little girl is humming the
Hello, mister.
Martinet's music. A young girl, barely 4 or 5 years old, sits on the sofa. She is looking at you with frank curiosity.
She clutches a small stuffed animal. Occasionally, she twirls it around.
What's that thing you're holding?
It's Lammy. He's my friend. Sort of. Like...
She holds the fuzzy beast up to demonstrate.
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days. One of the eye buttons is missing, and the fur is tattered in several parts.
Oh, okay. Well, pleased to meet you, Lammy.
Lammy usually doesn't like strangers. But you're also fuzzy, like Lammy.
Okay, we get it. I need a haircut. What's that?
It's a grouse.
Wasn't Gar, the cafeteria manager, trying to repair a piece of taxidermy?
Yes, but what's it for?
I don't know.
Well, can I have it?
Sure. Just go and get it. I don't like it anyways. It looks angry.
Well, that's great, because I honestly didn't want to just take the grouse.
All right. You just need to grab it from the ceiling and go.
I'm gonna forget about it. Are you Lillian's daughter?
Yes, I am. Little Lily. You know my mom?
Yes, we met earlier.
That's nice. My mom is great. She's never angry or anything.
Wow. I heard that there was a girl here who has armored gloves. Is that you?
Oh, I had gloves. Very big ones. Heavy, too.
Where did you get these gloves?
Found them when Lemmy and I were playing hide and seek. In an empty house. Where no one lives. I think someone hid them there.
And where are the gloves now?
I hid them. The twins were gonna take them. They're stupid.
She lifts her stuffed toy up and looks into one of its remaining eye, as though searching for confirmation.
We are going to need those gloves. It's for important police business.
Oh.
She doesn't seem to understand, but the lieutenant's tone has conveyed to her the important part.
They're in my sandcastle. Behind our house. Under the sand. You can break the castle. It's not very good.
Oh, thank you so much, Lily.
Bye!
Okay, well... Honestly, this fishing village has been a godsend. We could either wear the gloves or sell them. Either way, we'll look sick as hell, or we'll have a ton of money. Oh. What's this? Book. A primer for small kids. We'll take that. We've taken the grouse. It is almost noon. I'm assuming these are the twins. And we can speak to these men, or... Oh.
A drop in temperature, an easy flow there. An empty street. Before you, a thoroughfare unjammed with lorries. No more drivers smoking on hitch steps. Just silence.
What did the smoke smell like?
Chemically sweetened. Across the road, a forgotten bus stop. Corrosion has opened a hole in its roof. An elm tree watches over the building. Its branches are dripping with rain and snow. The road is smooth and motley. Craters filled with a black asphalt. The asphalt, first laid, is grey already. A row of tenements are under construction in the distance.
Who are the people who live across the road?
A tub warm with water, white with soap. A man bathes while radio waves transmit the lottery numbers. 4, 18, 21, 4, 1. A modern washing machine rattles a drawer full of silverware.
And what about the bus stop?
Number 312D. Young girls used to come here huddled up, hoping for more warmth than their thin coats give them. The bus took them to school. It has not run for 8 years. There were not enough girls to sustain its cost.
And what about the road?
Craters pocked the surface. Children played in them until heavy trucks full of black pitch rolled in. The landowners have filled the craters with money. It is a vital artery of the flow of trade. There's one bump on the road. A dead dog lies flat about 200 paces away. right at the turn.
A dead dog?
Tragedy comes from the wheels of a fast RCM vehicle, hurrying to work. The cold washes over you. The sound of the sea has grown distant.
Oh my god, I hope I did not kill that dog.
The wind moves the aerosol. A detective stands behind the boom barrier. A breeze moves a curl of his hair.
Can we get past this area? Guess not. Let's go grab the gloves real quick.
Weather has not been kind to Lily's little sandcastle. The once mighty towers are quickly eroding away. You can see something shining back to you from what must have been a vast underground catacomb network.
I reach in the catacombs and pull out the shiny object.
The walls and floors give way to the giant's greed, collapse and present you with a pair of ceramic gauntlets.
Congratulations. That's the gauntlets down then. We're doing good on the armor collection front.
Well, our commitment was only one piece. What's this? But, you know, if the boots dupe show up after the, after the, what's it? The autopsy or whatever, then I guess we could take those too. A little black swallow circles above you. You hear it chirrup. The water runs from the west. The source is upstream. A broken pipe. Rust-eaten letters read Mazout. Money. The rear tire of a motor carriage adorned these reeds. Speaking of reeds, maybe we can find the cryptozoologist's husband. The beams are splintered. The bridge didn't collapse on its own. Artillery broke it. That's a no-land Ving Sink, an unsuccessful model. Looking back at you from the rust-colored water, you. A kick drum pulse. The music is coming from somewhere on the ice. Music. Alright, I think we're going to equip the gloves. What can we do with these? Oh, can we scroll down? +2, interfacing. Strength in digits. Clenching and unclenching your fist has never been so fun. The tiny ceramic plates make a lovely clicking sound when your fingers move. The gloves are a bit sandy, but the grip is phenomenal. Half-light. Oh, fearsome.
As you fold your fingers into a fist, you realize you could knock anyone out with one punch. The white ceramic gloves wrap around your digits comfortably. Your movements cause tiny little clicks, like dice rolling somewhere far away, as the plates reorient to your motions.
I will be responsible with this. This is just to protect me from harm, not to show off.
The hardened vitreous enamel, at once sleek and voluptuous, adds a glow to your cheeks and a spring to your step. Just imagine what a full suit of this stuff could do for you. You really do feel more confident. Invulnerability does that. Even partial invulnerability.
Money. Okay. This is the long sought after enemy tech. I can't just enjoy it. I must study it.
Remember, this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop bullets. Wear it. Observe its properties. See if there's a weakness in the design. For the day you have to fight someone covered in the same material.
Okay, Half-Light, okay. Jeez. Fear. Run the number. Thought cabinet. Fairweather T500. Wow. I like that. -1 savoir-faire. Hard move. It really hurts to punch this armor. A sword wouldn't even leave a scratch. A bullet would bounce right off. Still, there must be some flaw in it that would allow you to stand your ground against this dangerous enemy tech. You just have to figure out what it is. Possibly by beating yourself while wearing it? Shooting yourself? Let's see. 3 hours? Okay. That's a setup. Well, we will be facing the other 2 soldiers from Crenel. I'm certain of it. Before you, a drawbridge. It can only be lowered from the other side. Huh, what is that? School of fish huddle around the fence post, then scatter into the dark. Money. Full of holes. Could the post hide treasure? Look inside. Bottle. Potent Pilsner. +1 physique. Money. More money. Money. Mag. Money. More money. Check our items, tools. Clothes. Items. The dead body of a grouse stuffed with some unknown material. From a distance, it might just pass off as a real thing. The bird itself looks extremely ruffled and slightly grumpy. Interact. A primer for small kids, a textbook for the first grade in primary school. On the cover, a humanoid teddy bear is pushing a wheelbarrow full of letters. He's not doing a very good job. The letter S is dangerously dangling from the cart, while E fell off a long time ago. Children should pay more attention.
You hold in your hand the colorful primer. The title reads, A Primer for Small Kids. There's a bear involved.
Flip through the pages.
Every page has one word designating one letter of the alphabet with a faded illustration. Most of them are scientific and cultural principles. It goes as follows.
Let's do this.
A is for azimuth. B is for Boreas. C is for cosine. D is for dynamite. E is for ellipse. F is for phlogiston. G is for gamete.
Well, these are very complicated words. What I do know about A for azimuth is that in the game Sunless Sky, there was an azimuth-related item or location.
H is for homeboy. I is for econ. J is for Yura. K is for collapse. L is for laudanum. M is for myriad. N is for nadir. O is for aureole. P is for perihelion.
And what I know about the word nadir or nadir is that it's an element of a story. Perhaps the climax? I can hear the music. Nod stoically.
Q is for quasar. R is for rhododendron. S is for sinus. T is for tricolor. U is for ultra. V is for vector. W is for Wahrheit. X is for xylophone. Y is for Ustava. Z is for zenith.
And that's it?
That's it. You know the alphabet now.
Exactly what I need.
This book will show you the score. Get you oriented with those basic concepts you appear to be hazy on. The anthropomorphic bear will give you the lowdown of your life.
On what?
The alphabet.
Kim, I know the alphabet now.
Good. I also know the alphabet.
Amazing. We could read through our ledger. Should we do that?
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board.
We're just gonna go through this real quick.
It's just relax. The slides, without 2 ticket stubs and 2 octopuses, thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling. Your fingers are sweaty. It's slightly. Without resistance, it's slightly. Arson, petty theft, spousal abuse. You don't exactly close them. Thin, see-through. The rest of the stink, it takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Which one do you want?
Okay, from 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4? Half an hour. 2 hours. We'll be done at 2 o'clock. Should we read these? I feel like they'll give us XP. Maybe just one then. Murder at the hookah parlor.
Murder. Tum 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 at the hookah parlor was a case originally assigned to an officer called Joseph Mills, who is now dead, of circumstances completely unconnected to murder at the hookah parlor.
Wait, how?
Beaten to death by a throng of Villalobos gang members when him and his partner J.M., only initials mentioned, answered a call one night. It's a sad story, and it isn't really represented in your case files. Stop stalling and get to the murder at the hookah parlor.
Right. On with the murder.
Joseph Mills was on this case that he just couldn't solve. Was doing it solo. Said it was a real nutcracker, a real brain twister. Was on it for, like, a month. The captain got impatient. Shit or get off the pot, Mills. Mills didn't get off the pot. Not yet. He kept at it for a couple of weeks more, racking his brains, running with every theory, as outlandish as they seemed. Still couldn't solve the murder at the hookah parlor. Tough case, he said. Toughest he's ever had.
Wait. Was Joseph Mills a good cop?
No, he was awful. Awful sense of humor, too. The worst jokes you've ever heard. Really rapey. Still, he'd been on it for months now. Said it was the final case. Said it was uncrackable. That murderer vanished into thin air. That goddamn hookah parlor was all he talked about.
Oh, I, too, have recently met someone quite rapey. It's not good. I hope none of you ever have to meet that sort of person and let them into your life. Go on.
Okay, so the case is handed to you because Mills isn't getting anywhere, and you look into it. Here's the setup. A young man is found dead in a hookah parlor. You know, those places where you go and smoke bubblegum-flavored vapor all day.
Oh, really cool.
Yeah, really lame. So anyway, young man in his 20s found with his skull busted open, right on the floor of the hookah parlor, in the middle of the day. No one else is in there, only client that day. In perfect health too. Some kind of movie producer. No one enters, no one exits. He's just sucking on his watermelon hookah all morning, all noon, like he usually does. He's a regular. No calls, nothing. Just sucking on the hookah until 15:45. Then bam, he's dead on the floor with his skull busted open, blood everywhere. What happened? How can it be? Mills has no idea. Invisible assassin, movie deal gone sour. Girl at the counter did it. Nothing fits. Eerie. Man just dropped dead. So you go to the parlor. You see cushions around the table. Table's low, heavy, really sharp edge.
He sucked hookah, stood up, passed out, hit his head on the table, and died.
See? You can't even read the thing without solving it. Yeah, it was that. Turns out hookah does do something. It turns off your brain's oxygen supply, and you don't notice it until you get up to go to the bathroom.
And what was he doing there for 6 hours?
Smoking hookah. Didn't you hear? Not much has changed.
Okay, there appears to be an individual on this side. Oh god, I'm a completionist. I need to exhaust every portion of the map. You feel the shadow of a very large building fall on you. Sorry. Here I go. 12:30. Can we get up there? No boat in the boathouse today. This section of the coast hasn't been used in decades. Mag. Oversized superstar sunglasses, +1 savoir faire, -1 viscalc. The boathouse is shoddily constructed. A strong breeze might blow it over. Cash.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
And we don our neat office shades.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
My assumption, firing squad? Look here, even more bullet holes. Something's definitely gone down here.
Correct. The density of the bullet holes is unusual. Even in a general average bullet hole frequency in Martinez's sense. Grim affairs. Meaning, this is a lot of bullet holes. Looks like fully automatic rifle fire. Something you don't see these days.
Why not?
The manufacturing and sale of automatic rifles was curtailed after the revolution. The destructive power of such tools proved to be too much. We do need to retain some humanity in this world.
Why this many bullet holes? +1 holes in the plaza, +1 holes in the backyard.
A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them, a dozen at least, their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet, no sound, no movement. 10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner, automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap slowly in the breeze. A single person stands on the side. The sun blazes high up in the sky, baking the planks, the sand, your skin. The order was carried out in the afternoon. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains.
What is this?
The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed.
Look at the people against the wall.
A host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They were not sitting, a common practice for executions in some nations, as demonstrated by the height level of the bullet holes. They stand, facing the wall. It's impossible to discern any details about their personality or background.
I look at the line of soldiers.
7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from some side, but from which one?
I look at the person standing on the side.
The commandant, the one who gives the order. Machine gun fire crackling through the air, the lights of the muzzle flashes dancing on his face.
Kim, who was who in this execution?
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in the revolution. Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces. It could even have been the employees of the Feld R&D Center down the coast, as their building was taken over by the revolutionaries.
Or maybe...
You mentioned coalition forces. Could it have been them against the wall?
Yeah, it's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was a commandant, the superior giving the orders.
Okay.
A cold sea wind blows away the figures.
Ancient paint is peeling off the roof of this shaded bench covered in rust. An old ticket taker booth, no longer in op. The sign says, Entrée interdite. A little faster, please. Money. The door is not only barred shut, it is inaccessible. What's this? Fawn, people, +2 logic, -1 perception. A hat? Yikes. Oh, okay, I see. I am determined to explore every corner of this map. One more time.
A row of ghostly shades facing a crumbling wall, with another 7 shades stand a cold sea.
A buoy bobs in the water. The number on it says 11. These heavy military blockades are riddled with bullet holes, crumbling. These soggy logs smell of ignition fluid. Still, they won't light up. Lots of people out there miss the good old days.
Hello, I'm Gary. How do you do, officer?
Gary the crypto-fascist. Hello, Gary. Hello, I'm Gary. Oh, oops.
Yellow man. I mean, officer.
Nope, we don't like that.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook. Yellow man. Interesting. This is something to ask him about, after a little probing first.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morell to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
Not a lover of the great outdoors.
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Drunks and degenerates. That's my crew.
Dark times will do that to good men.
He nods gravely, then shifts his gaze to the pile of soggy logs at his feet. I have no tact. Are you a cryptozoologist too?
No. I help Morell with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
After all this time with Morell, he must have an opinion on cryptids. This could lead to a good one.
I'm into cryptids. Do you have a favorite?
Oh, yes, the burning rhino. Morell doubts he's real, but I don't much care, because I won't be the one looking for him out in Safra Serai.
What's a burning rhino?
A rhinoceros that looks ordinary during the day, but burns brightly by night. Well, at least the males do.
How do they burn?
They have special ducts just above their shoulder blades that secrete a combustible fluid. When the rhino is just beginning to light itself, it looks as though it has wings of fire.
But how is this combustible fluid lit?
How does the lighting of this fluid actually work?
The rhino starts running very fast to build heat, then stops, raises its head, and sparks fly from its neck, setting its back ablaze.
I can buy into that. A flaming rhino.
Revacol used to be a flaming rhino once, a long time ago.
Why only the males?
The flames are not just for decoration. They are an integral part of the beast's mating behavior.
I should have known it. Everything's about sex. Freud was right. How so?
During the burning rhino's mating season, herds of male rhinos, all aflame, encircle herds of female rhinos, forming a fiery ring as they begin to copulate loudly. Local peasants call it the passion ring. They fear the rhinos, as perhaps they should.
The lieutenant sighs without looking up from his notes.
You were surprised to see my colleague, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sail. I meant no offense, truly.
The lieutenant is a native of Revachol.
Oh, yes, of course he is. I was just speaking about his connections. Let's change the subject, okay?
Sounds like some conspiracy topic. You might be able to discuss it with him when the lieutenant isn't here, if you can remember it.
Oh well, we have separate lodgings now, so...
Return without the lieutenant. For this, your balance organ thinks it's a waste of time.
I would agree. Do you know anything about the man hung behind the whirling in rags?
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Martinez is about. Great. Great to hear someone's finally taking care of that.
So you do know something about it?
No. Nothing. He was some kind of mercenary. But everyone here knows that. I'm just glad to hear you're looking into it. That's all.
He's not feeling very comfy in his clothes, is he? Strange. He didn't kill him or anything, but there's something going on here.
Is this your mug?
My mug? Why would you think that?
It seemed as if you were calling to it longingly when you cried Yellow Man.
Oh, no, that's not... Why would I be calling to a broken mug?
Let's give him some grief. Ooh. Still, seems suspicious. Did I mention the mug was found at the scene of a lynching?
Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer.
I don't understand. Why shouldn't you have thrown away the mug?
You're not going to find me, are you?
Oh, oh gosh. Oh my goodness. I'm going for it. I am. Rip out a fine slip for 20 real.
Okay, I deserve that. And I won't do it again. You have my word. I don't know what got into me. Stuffing my garbage in another man's property, I've been having trouble at work lately. The Koikos are price dumping us out of competition.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
How'd you get into the trash container?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services. CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez.
Why would you need to get into everyone's trash?
So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a mob. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Oh, this boy is way too familiar. Takes one to know one.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Gary, did you put the clothes of a murder victim, the man who was hung behind the whirling in rags, into that trash container?
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that.
Do.
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
Okay. Then what happened?
Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly. Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Right. It was just civic duty.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but where?
You wouldn't know anything about the victim's missing armor, would you?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing. There's something going on here. You should observe him more closely after this topic is concluded.
Let's move on for now.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way.
Thank you for your cooperation. Let us don our composure shoes. Have we any other composure items? Composure, composure, composure. Nope. Tiny cages, carefully constructed. Money.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam.
Oh, this man's voice sounds quite familiar. Are you our ancient reptilian brain?
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
His self-conscious enthusiasm renders his movements ungainly. He looks like your understanding of a scientist.
You must be Morell, the cryptozoologist?
To what do I owe the pleasure?
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance.
Lena sent me. She's been really worried about you and is waiting for you to get back.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn waterlock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
The 881 is a raised motorway that separates Martinez from Jamrock. The labyrinth of streets underneath it makes it difficult to pass, not like walking over a nice waterlock.
Oh, no need to incriminate myself and give someone else some leverage. The waterlock's been fixed. It was fine when I crossed it.
Oh, good. We should really be getting back. Gary could use a hot shower and a warm bed.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
He refastens a bit of netting that has come loose in the wind.
His hands are large and weather-worn, but also used to delicate, precise work.
Tell me about this phasmid you're looking for.
Which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
Well, what makes it so difficult to find?
Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there?
Yes.
And I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators, or scientists, in our present case.
What sort of specialized techniques is the phasmid using to hide itself?
It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defences that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex.
That makes sense. My understanding of bird flight patterns is that they use the electromagnetic waves of the Earth's polar ends.
But I cannot describe how these defences work, much less how they evolve, without studying a live specimen.
A ghost insect, he said? These people are looking for a ghost.
So, how big is this phasmid?
I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
Seems puny, to be honest.
Why are you so interested in this stick bug? Aren't there more sensational animals out there?
typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of my, of any, cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defences, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
Well, what have you discovered about it so far?
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
So, no one's ever found one.
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
Kim. Kim with the grief.
I know it's real.
It's clear that his obsession with the phasmid is driven by something more than the pure pursuit of scientific advancement.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
Lena said there has been a sighting of it here in Martinez.
Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
Maybe the Insulindian phasmid has died out.
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
He means asexual reproduction. The females of the species don't need to mate to produce viable eggs. This makes it easier for a species with a small population to survive.
This arouses no special feelings in me.
And it shouldn't. Nature does not concern herself with ethical propositions. As a scientist, my interest is strictly dispassionate.
Tell me more about these traps.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
Lena designed the traps.
Yes.
How did the traps work?
Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can get back out.
Oh.
At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
And what are you using as bait? Locusts?
Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm. A meat-eating stick insect? Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behavior? This seems unlikely.
What will you do if these traps don't work?
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing.
Okay.
Yes. What?
Lena seems pretty eager for your return. How did you become a cryptozoologist?
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
Have you ever discovered a cryptid?
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid.
So, how many cryptids have been found?
Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemnee, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes. 2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
Only 2 have been proven real?
Yes, the Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Hugo-Grad, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere. We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves, more so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
I don't even know what to say. That's a small number of discoveries.
Do you know what the success rate in pharmacological research is?
He has clearly done his math on this. There is no surprising him or swaying his opinion.
Well, thanks for explaining that. Now, about something else.
Yes,
Lena seems pretty eager for you to return.
and I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
Come on, Morell. We've been soaking out here for days.
And leave the traps?
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
Well, we don't want Gary to leave just yet, so maybe we'll have... What? Morell stay? I didn't know the phasmid was so important to Lena.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it.
She's seen it.
Really? She sighted the phasmid. She didn't tell me that.
Yes, that's how we first came to know one another. Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together.
Okay.
I can't abandon course now.
I understand. I don't give up on things either.
Good. A good quality to have, both for a police officer and an experimental zoologist.
I could go for some trap setting.
Have you noticed anything off about your friend Gary?
No. No, of course not. Why?
You sure?
Well, he's been a little unenthusiastic about the trip. More so than usual. That's understandable. He just wants to get home and warm up.
Okay, I'll get going. Alright, punk. Last item before we end the episode.
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law. I mean, officers.
Oh! Icosahedral red dye. If we had the blue one, then I'm sure our odds would be higher. Thinking about the armor. Clinking sound. Composure. High. I suppose we could punch up our character stat as well, but how about this? I do this, I succeed, I add a thought cabinet, and I think about the armor.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath.
Something worn underneath it.
Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives.
I see you're a connoisseur of high-quality combat gear.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once. I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
You see gleaming white ceramic shine underneath. A thin layer of interlocking plates covers his gaunt torso.
We're not detecting falsehood, sire. He's gearing up to admit the truth.
Gary, what's going on?
Later, Morell. I've got apologizing to do.
No, you've got explaining to do.
Why did you really put those clothes in the trash?
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling. So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here. Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it up now.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. Seolite officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
They were thoroughly conservative men, he realizes suddenly.
Do you know who killed the hangman?
I always thought it was the Union. Some Union hardasses lynched him because of the strike. But almost everyone in town knows that. I wish I could tell you more.
This is all he knows.
Give me that armor. Now.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat. But so light to hold, like a bag of cotton.
Are we done here, Gary?
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again.
Thanks for your co-op. Well then, that was successful, and I'm glad for it. Fairweather T500 cuirass, -1 empathy, +1 volition, +1 pain threshold. This vitreous enamel cuirass fits snugly and redistributes kinetic energy across its countless white plates. Amazingly, it fits under your coat, and it also makes pretty porcelain sounds when shaken. Oh yes, look at us, clad. Let's save. Now all we need are the boots and the helmet. And it is possible the helmet washed ashore somewhere. Well, for now, that'll be that. See you in the next episode.